All right, our group was based on, preparing to present either on campus or virtual or poster session or a talk. And I think it's easy to get bogged down in the science and lose sight of how to effectively present the material. Can either too much data or too much information when maybe you're just trying to get some main points along. One of the things that we talked about was poster design guidance. Some institutions may have that in-house, and I obviously don't at my institution, so I was wondering as far as like, does AGU or certain organizations have that available, certain just design features so that you can send a student to that and say, hey, look at this, and follow along. These are some of the poster guidelines, or even maybe for PowerPoints too, because I've seen plenty of PowerPoints where there's way too much information or way too little, trying to find that happy balance and stuff. So, and such as avoiding certain flaws, certain fonts to avoid. We mentioned Comic Sans was one to avoid, so you don't think that you're still in grade school. Just spacing and alignment on a poster, it can overwhelm people. Of course, the text overload. One of the persons in the group kind of revealed how they do practice sessions with each student, even though it's very time consuming. If you're in that position to do that, break it down, whether it's introductions, abstracts, or the main body for talks. And a lot of the students, they're coming in blind. Can you provide those practice sessions? I was even thinking of a possibility of having a simulated prerequisite to the program where they get to see either an already existing data set or something like what CERC and Integrate have with modules, where there's enough data in a setting to where you can have students look at the problem, look at the data, and then on their own, how would they present it? Would they present it in a PowerPoint or a poster? How would they present it? And they try that on their own, but then after they do it on their own, then you show them, well, this is what a typical poster or PowerPoint would look like using this data. So just giving them a chance to see the whole process as we go through. And so just kind of getting them primed for what is a poster, what is a talk going to look like, what is a PowerPoint going to look like, instead of just throwing them to the wolves at the meeting. One of the big challenges too was just limited funding for those students to attend. They may be able to do the research, but did you account for supporting them, the cost to get them to the meetings and all that associated with it? So various REUs or groups had the money and others didn't. So incorporate that in. And so I think, one other thing too was dress code. Which meetings have a certain dress code or not? Who qualifies for shorts and flip-flops versus suit and tie? Various factors like that. So don't leave it open-ended, really focus on the non-science aspects so that everyone's kind of on the same page. Another thing too was to post resource links on one of the Google Docs. Maybe create a Google Docs page of just resource links, such as like, where is a web page design that we can link to that guides us, and so on and so forth. So that was one of the things we came up with, so we can all revert back to that as we discover we may need it. But that's pretty much the main gist.